Hello, my dear learners. How are you all? I hope you all are doing good. So, here I welcome you all in your computer class. In this class, we will move on chapter number 3 of your book, and the name of the chapter is IPO Cycle of a Computer. Let's see what is IPO cycle of a computer. What this cycle all about? Okay? Do you want to know? Because I am hoping that this name IPO is new to you. Okay, so let's see, let's have a look what this cycle that is used in our computer. Okay, so let's start this chapter number 3. So, hi friends, we have learned about the parts of a computer. Have you ever even thought how the computer works on an instruction instruction we give? In the previous classes, we know the computer and their parts. In this chapter, we will see how the computer working on your instruction. You know, we already know in the previous class also know, if you want to give instruction to the computer, then only the computer works. It does not work automatically. So if you want to give instruction, then only the computer is working. Okay. So today I will tell you about the process through which a computer works. Let's begin. So let's have a look how the computer is functioning, how it works. Okay. So basically we will learn how the computer is working. Okay. So let's start. IPO full form is input, process, output. This is IPO. Input, process, output. This is IPO cycle. Sorry. IPO cycle means input, process, output. Let's have a look how the computer input, process and output working on it in our computer. Okay. So let's see. We know that a computer cannot work on its own. We already know computer cannot know how to work their own. You have to give command. Then only they can work. We need to give instruction to the computer in the form of letters, numbers to make it work. You can give command by clicking on it, by giving command, by selecting letters, then only they can able to work. The computer that follow a cycle to carry out the instruction, the process through which a computer works is known as IPO cycle. This is IPO cycle. That means we can say how the computer is working. The work culture of computer is known as IPO cycle. IPO cycle is also known as input, process, output. This is input, process, output. This is process. Okay. So we can say the input, and then that input should be processed and then the output should be there. Just wait a minute. I know you are not understand what is input, output and all these things. I'm here for you to help you out. Okay. So let's see. First, just connect with your real life. Then you can understand what is IPO. So real life example of IPO. First see these examples because these example is related to your real life. Okay. So let us first understand the IPO cycle with some real life example. So some real life example we can understand IPO. First is washing machine. We all have washing machine in your homes. So what the washing machine is working? The washing machine is working in input, process, output mechanisms. So when we wash clothes in washing machine, we put washing powder, water and clothes in the machine. Of course, the first step is that put the things that you want to wash. Okay, like clothes and the we can say washing powder also. Okay, this is the input that you are giving in the machine. This is known as input. What it is called? Input. Okay, so the input is your clothes and your washing powder. Then we switch on the washing machine. Then we will switch on the washing machine. Okay, the machine start washing the clothes, and then when you switch on that machine, then the clothes will automatically washed. This is known as processing. Now the washing machine is processing, means they are cleaning your clothes, removing all your dirts that is there in your clothes. Then after washing we get clean clothes is known as output. This is output, what we can got, that we can got a clean and clear clothes. Okay, so first we will do input. We will put all the clothes in the machines, washing powder. This is input. The process should be there, the machine is working. We can select a timer also, 5 minutes to wash, and dryer also. So this is the process, and the output result that you can get a clean clothes. So this is input, process, output. Next example is preparing Maggie. This is the best example. By this example we can easily understand. First, suppose you want to prepare a Maggie, the IPO cycle of it would be as follow. First you have the inputs also. If you want to make Maggie, you have to be some vegetables in your homes, Maggie masala, water, and a pan. These are the inputs needed to make a Maggie. Okay, then you have to process it also. Then you can put the pan with Maggie and all the masalas and vegetables to be cooked. Then the output result is that a yummy Maggie with very delicious taste. Do you love Maggie? Yes, I'm hoping so all of you can love Maggies. Comment down below how many of you love and love the Maggie. I know all of you are Maggie fans. Okay. Next, third example is making milkshake. If you want to make a milkshake, then the input, process, output should be, first input should be there. So milkshake, you can need all the things, milk, fruits, you know. So all these things, then the process should be there, the machines and everything should be there. So that's why we can make a milkshake. Then the output should be there, a very delicious and yummy milkshakes is there on your table. So this is input, process, output. These are some real life examples. Now we can see stitching a clothes also. So stitching a clothes, we need the wool, we need the thread, we need the fiber. Then we have to process it with the machines, we have to process it. Then we can get a very beautiful kurta, suit, sari, anything. Okay. So these are the examples that we can say input, process, output. One activity is for you making input, output and process from IPO cycle for making a juice. If you want to making a juice, what is input, output, process? First, this is this is input. What's that? It is input. Then that girl is making process. So this is process. And the last one is the juice is prepared. This is the output. So we can say the input, process, output steps is working on this principle also. Okay, to preparing a juice. Okay. Now we will see. Now I'm hoping so input, process, output cycle is clear to you. IPO cycle is clear to you. Now we will see this IPO cycle is how the IPO cycle is working on a computer. Okay, in the computer, how this cycle is working. Let's have a look. Let's have a deep understanding of it. IPO cycle of a computer. What the IPO cycle? Let's see. Now let us understand the IPO cycle of a computer. Before that, let me tell you what is input, process and output for the computer. So for a computer, what is input, what is process and what is output for a computer? Let's see one by one. Input. What is input for the computer? Let's see how we can give input to the computer. What is input for the computer? All these things, let's see. The data and the instruction that we give to a computer is known as input. The instruction which we are giving to the computer, that is input, I-N-P-U-T, input. We give instruction to the computer with the help of keyboard, mouse. Of course, we give command to the computers with the help of keyboard, either typing or with the help of mouse by clicking anything. We can give command to the monitor or to the computer. Okay, so input means the data and the instruction that we give to computer is known as input. Or input we are giving with keyboards and mouse. Hence, a keyboard and the mouse are called input devices. So we can call keyboard and mouse is known as input devices. What they are called? Input devices. That much is clear. So these are the devices which is used to give input to the computer. Now the process, how the computer process it, how they can able to process. Let's see. So this is the processor given below. So we know after we give inputs to a computer, it works on the instruction. So whatever the instruction you are giving to you, it works on your instruction. Okay. This step is known as process. Then that the computer is processing your instruction, that what instruction you are giving to the computers. The CPU does all the thinking and calculation work of the computer. So CPU do all the calculations, thinking part of the computer. Hence, it is also called processing device of the computer. So we can also call the processing device of a computer is known as CPU. Okay. So CPU is also clear. So CPU is working for the process, to process information, to process data, to process instruction. Okay. Now the output is obtained. So where we can find the output? Let's see. So what is output first? Let's have a look. Output is a result which we can get from the computer. So the result which we are getting from the computer is known as output. When the CPU completes the processing of the data, then the output can be seen on the monitor. Of course, on the monitor we can see the output. In input we can give with keyboard and mouse. Output we can see on the monitor screen. We can also take a printout of the output with the help of printer. That is there on the computer screen. If you want to take a printout of it, we can take the printout with the help of printer. Okay. Hence, a monitor and the printer is known as output devices. So we already know about input devices and output devices. Keyboard and mouse are input devices. Monitor and printer is output devices. So input and output devices are clear, and we already know the work of computer as an input device and work of computer as an output devices. So computer is working input and output. They can process both the information. Okay. So let us understand the IPO cycle of a computer with the help of an example. Let's see with the example how the computer is working on IPO principle. That is input, process, output. Adding two numbers. If you want to add two numbers, how the computer process that? Just wait a minute. Just read all these things very slowly, very calmly. Okay. Suppose you want to add 3 and 5. If you want to add 5 and 3, we know the answer should be 8. But how the computer is process all these things, let's have a look. First, we can type with the keyboard on the monitor that please give me the answer 3 plus 5. Then the computer process with the help of CPU, and then in the last step we can get the output, that is 8. Okay. So in this example, the number which we want to add and plus sign are the input. So the numbers and the plus sign should be input, like 3 and 5 and plus sign means 3 plus 5 is the input. Then process. Now the CPU will work on the data according to the instructions given by us. So whatever instruction you are giving to you, if you want to divide that number, they can divide for you. If you want to multiply that number, the computer multiply it. Okay. So they work on the principles that you are giving to you. So CPU will add the two numbers. So CPU will add the two numbers and the display, and then you can get the output, that is 8. So the output 8 is displayed on the monitor. So 8 should be the output. Input, process, output. Clear? Okay. Some activities for you. Match the part of a computer with the correct word. कीबोर्ड, कीबोर्ड क्या है हमारा? इनपुट देता है. माउस क्या है? इनपुट देता है. प्रिंटर क्या है हमारा? आउटपुट देता है ना? एंड आपका सीपीयू क्या है? वो चीजों को प्रोसेस करता है. ओके, सो दिस चैप्टर इज ओवर. आई एम होपिंग सो IPO cycle is totally clear to you. Understandable? Easy? So yeah, this is the chapter all about. In this chapter, we will see what is input, what are input devices, what is process, and what is output and output devices. Okay, so that's all my dear learners for this class. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a good day. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.